Hey everyone, Jamie Kindred here with the City of Hondo. This is Leaders and Locals. This is our fourth episode of Leaders and Locals. I'm here with my co-host, City Manager John Nairn, and we are so incredibly excited today to talk about McFradmoo. We're going to visit with my very good friend here, Stephanie Blanks. She's the Executive Director of GoMedina, and of course everybody knows Jamie Wilson, singer-songwriter, internationally known throughout the world.
Totally.
Welcome, you guys. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
We have a ton of stuff to talk about because McFradmoo, I don't know who
so
in our
catchy.
group. It is.
It's so catchy.
But the title is so long.
It's just too long. Medina County First Responder Appreciation Day Meetup. I mean, nobody wants to write that. Nobody really wants to say that. So McFradmoo, it just, rolls off the tongue.
That's the only way I can remember what everything is by remembering McFradmoo. Mm-hmm. John's like, what are y'all even saying?
No clue, but sounds great. It's catchy. I'm sure I'll remember it next year.
Yeah.
McFradmoo.
McFradmoo. Look, you're already in the club.
Done.
Done and done. All right, well, let's just jump right in. First of all, this is year 2, correct?
Year 2.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about how this whole thing started to begin with. I went last year as just kind of a spectator, and I was like, what is even happening here?
We thought that
this
too.
Is crazy.
Yeah.
We also thought, what is even happening?
Exactly. Yeah.
And we planned it.
Yeah. So, I mean, originally, I think Al Fragoni, who is the meat master extraordinaire with Texas Open Fire Meetup, he had known David Jones.
And Keith Lutz.
And Keith Lutz. And so I think there were just some kind of calls between the three of them. And they thought, man, it'd be really great to put on a First Responder Appreciation Day. Actually, last year it fell on.
Last year Keith was just trying to, we should make an event for our first responders. And so he kind of started talking to a few of us about making an event. And we decided on a day. And then it turned out that day was actually First Responders Appreciation Day. It was very...
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
It was very fortuitous how the whole thing happened, just to be on that weekend. Because we were like, well, it has to be before Halloween. And, there were some things. And there's football games happening. And so there was, a very specific window that it could happen. Mm-hmm. And then it just so happened that it was the National Day of First Responders Appreciation.
Yeah, naturally. Yeah. That's why we planned it.
Yeah, and he knew Al because I think Al had maybe done some things at Jones's over where the event is. He met him there. Al Fragoni lives in Bernie, so he's close to this.
Right. But he's originally from Brazil, and so he's bringing in a lot of people from all over the world for this. Brazil, Mexico.
Yeah, last year it was going to just be him, I believe. He was like, I'll just roast this steer, because he does the open fire, spread out the steer and cook it, on both sides. And that was going to be the attraction.
Sure.
And then we were just going to, have brisket plates or something. It was going to be a very...
low-key.
Come watch this dude cook a steer, but also just eat this over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everybody can taste this, or
Right.
And then all of a sudden we're having meetings, and Al's like, well, I got some friends coming. I have some more friends coming. Also, we got these people involved. And then we realized it was going to be something that was a lot bigger than we expected.
Yeah.
And it happened to be on the same day as the vendor blender was already going to be there.
Oh.
So we combined forces with them. We got the FCCLA kids in Dehennis to make a kid zone.
Nice.
So it's one of their projects, the kids'
I think they went to state with it last year.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They did really good, maybe even nationals. Mm-hmm. Where they bring in all, a jumpy house and all this, a petting zoo and things
face
for the
painting.
kids to do for free.
That's fun.
But they're in charge of it, so they have to talk to all the vendors and line up everything.
Yes.
So it's great, experience for them.
Yeah, and then
great
they make
for
a
us
presentation on it.
We can just write the check and they handle it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we just go, here's some money, throw a thing for the kids.
Yeah.
Make everybody sign a waiver.
Yeah, we do have that.
And then, and so it just kind of came together, all these different places, all these different things. As a bonus, the first responders of Medina County get in free and their family members.
Oh, nice.
So they get to come and enjoy it, have plates and eat all the food for free. the general public also can come for free just to get in. But if you want to sample all of the food, then you have to pay the ticket.
Right. And
So-
it's $25.
Yeah.
25, right? Yeah.
And that QR code is on your GoMedina Facebook page,
It
right?
is, yes.
Okay. I think we shared that too. So
Yes.
all good stuff.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's crazy. There's going to be 15 different meat stations, meat teams this year. So I think last year we had about 10, and then he's expanded it to 15. So
It was so great last year.
Yeah.
Because I just vaguely remember, like, oh, I'm going to try some of this. And then, oh, look, there's an alligator or
Right.
whatever that was.
Well-
and then the music was fantastic all day
Yeah,
long.
and there's music all day.
Yeah.
And
Oh, and look, we can shop for a minute.
and you can go shop if you want.
and drop the kids off at the kids zone.
yeah, don't even bother. I mean, my
I didn't even see my kids for like several hours. It
I
was
know
great.
this year is going to be very exciting because my oldest daughter is in high school at Dehennis, and it's actually her project
Nice.
this year. So she's
She's
Perfect.
invested in
in
it.
charge of it.
Yeah.
And so I literally will not see her, and she will have my other 3 over there.
Wonderful.
And they won't be allowed to come out without her, and she can't leave. So
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
that's
What's
gonna be
what's the
great.
vendor blender? Sorry.
It's a
No clue.
it's an event that they've been having for
Several
I don't know,
years.
probably 5 or
4 or
6
5,
years.
yeah.
And they, all of these people who make things and who set up at market days and sell jewelry and sell soap and purses and T-shirts and all of that, they all
Candles. And
Candles.
Lots
and
of little
candy
booths, like
and-
probably between 40 to 60 booths that
Yeah.
set up.
They
Kelly
set up
Muhan
inside the
puts-
barn.
Puts it all together, coordinates
and
it.
then so that all these people can go to one place before the holidays start, and people can go through and
It's
do
like
their
a
Christmas shopping.
mini Christmas in God's country, if you will.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Just on a smaller
Yeah.
scale.
Yeah.
And they do it several times a year. 2, 3 times a year, 5.
Yeah, I think they do one in the fall and one in the spring, maybe. But it's over at the same place at the barn at Quail Crossing, and they you can just walk through the barn and do all of your Christmas shopping, and then
Then you go eat.
and then you go
favorite
eat.
thing.
I will
Yep.
eat.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
and
have to
then
make
you
sure
go-
my wife is not going to watch this episode because I don't want her to know about the vendor blender.
About the shopping.
Vanessa,
Yeah.
you must come shopping.
No,
Yeah.
stay
It'll be
away.
fun.
Last year they
Fine.
had, I mean, the food. I got to be a judge last year,
Ooh.
and it was like, they were presenting like we were on a TV show, which they were filming it for a show. I think
Yes.
they had it on some.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Food.
Al was on Elder Eats on Saturday, so it was featured then, and then he's going to be on KSAT
KSAT,
tomorrow
SA
morning.
Live.
There we go. SA Live tomorrow
SA
at
Live
11.
That's so
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
But they were like, "This is rattlesnake," and we cooked it, and they're telling us how all of the things, and then the next one's alligator, and the next one's
There was
like,
some kind of seafood thing that was was
Oh,
it
yeah.
lobster or something?
What
was that?
There
It
was
was
one
so-
that was like
so
all
good.
of the seafood, where it's like clams and
Oh,
Yeah.
lobster, like all of
Yeah,
the
this
stuff
is
in
this
Sounds like I
is
need to be a
not.
judge.
I was like,
You could be a judge. They're looking for judges.
Yeah.
City manager.
Sign me up.
that
There you
would
go.
be pretty great.
So
Talk
I did,
to Judge Lutz. He's
I-
the one that's.
Yeah, I'll give him a call after this. Yeah, for real. But I had my first experience judging a barbecue contest.
Well, you've
and
got
I,
experience.
There
then.
you go. But I want to hear about your experience. Did you eat too much too early? And, like, do you feel like you? Because that's what happened to me. I was like, "Oh, this chicken looks so good," and I'm like,
Did you like
munching down.
put on your
They
sweatpants
were-
and get ready? Or
Well, I was not prepared because they asked me at the last minute. So it was like, who could be a judge? And me and Bobby Ibarra were standing there, who is the fire chief in Dehennis, and we were like, sure,
good.
let's sit down.
Okay.
And so it was small portions,
Okay.
and there were only 10 teams. So they were bringing
Oh.
it to the table, making their presentation, and then we had a scorecard.
Yeah.
And we had to, like, presentation and taste and
Right.
texture and all of these things.
You had 29 teams to judge. That was
I
very difficult.
overestimated my ability to eat, and
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 then
I'm good
remember.
at eating. I mean, yeah, and then remember.
And then you have to remember which one was the best of all of them and try to make it not the third one to the last.
Sounds like I need more practice. So this
I
would be
think you're
great.
good. I think
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
good.
no,
This
no,
time
I want
they're
to
gonna
practice
have
at this event.
rounds.
Oh, I see what you're
Yes.
saying.
This time they're going to have rounds. It's like 3 rounds of judging. So, like, and then the third round is professional barbecue judges. So, like, they're looking
wow.
for,
yeah, they're upping the game.
they're looking
Nice.
for locals and like sponsors and like
Oh, very
volunteer judges to like judge the first 2 rounds, see who goes to the finals,
Sure.
and then the finals will be judged by professional judges.
That's
Cool.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
you like to be a
Goals.
professional
I know. I'm
barbecue judge?
I will
I need to
sign
work
up for
towards
that.
that.
Yes,
sounds
please
good.
and thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Sorry if I have to quit my day job to sign up to
To
be a
go and-
professional barbecue
To
judge.
be a professional.
Was
Sure,
there
we are
anything
sure
that
we
you
can
were
make
like,
time for
I
this,
will
Jen."
not eat that.
No, I was on board. I was like, I don't care. Let's do it.
Let's try it.
Your hottest pepper, your weirdest goat.
There wasn't anything bad. Like
There was
it was
nothing
all
bad.
good. So yeah.
And my kids were behind me eating it too. So I have an 11-year-old, and she was standing right here, and she's like, "Can I have that?" And I'm like, "It's rattlesnake," and she's like, "That's great."
Is that kind of the theme, like foods that you normally would
Yes,
eat? in a way?
well, last year each booth cooked something different.
Right.
So this
might
was
have
chicken,
goat,
this was goat, that was
pork,
beans, this
alligator.
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
fun.
It's a little different than.
Yeah.
I love goat personally. Like it's one of my favorites.
well, there will be some on some spits
Excellent.
and some pigs,
Excellent.
I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So part of the event is the showmanship of
Sure.
the whole
For
thing.
sure.
Like
The
all
visual.
the booths have real, like there's a chuck wagon and there's
Nice.
you know, and they set it up on that on the road so you can go down the road and then make a little
Yeah.
loop to where they have the animals splayed
It's
out.
an experience.
Yeah, I feel like I might have missed a couple food items last year just because of the way that it was laid out.
Yes.
But I think that the way that it's laid out this year, where you
Yeah,
just go down that row, you
Yeah.
won't miss a bite.
it'll be great.
And
It will be
I'm
great.
really excited about the music too because
Oh yeah, music starts at 10 in the morning. So it starts at 10 and I think the whole thing's over by 3:30.
Yep.
And then they'll announce the judges.
Right.
The judges.
So
but,
the Joe Posada.
So Joe Posada Trio will go until for like an hour and a half, like 10 to 11:30, 11:45, and then at noon Weston Rips will play. And
You heard him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's from Castroville.
Excellent.
And then at 1 I play, and then at 2 Rick Trevino plays.
Oh, nice.
So, and Rick Trevino, you know,
Yeah.
he's a
Good
big deal.
stuff. Yeah. That is
Last time
very
I saw
cool.
him play, he was with the Texas Tornadoes.
Oh.
That was really cool. So now, so he's like leaning into Tejano a lot right now, and it's
Interesting.
really, really cool. I don't know if he'll do that on his
Yeah.
full band,
Yeah, yeah.
like
Oh, I love
regular
that.
show. But
Okay, so let me try to wrap my head around this. So I show up, I buy a ticket for $25 to eat all the food that I want, right?
yes,
I shop over here in Vendor Blender. Everything starts at 10,
yes,
right? The whole place. Shop, do all of my Christmas shopping, go eat all the food, sit and listen to all the great music.
Send the kids to the
Drop
bouncy house.
my
Yeah.
sweet babies off. Dude, that sounds like a fun Saturday.
and you're done, and you're gone by 4.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I
3:30.
like
The
to
whole
be in
thing
my pajamas
ends.
by 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
So.
Right?
Then you
Yeah.
go to the Dehennis football game. I'm gonna be so tired.
That's what Jamie's doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so.
I'm gonna be
I'm
in my
gonna
bed
have
in
the
my
greatest
pajamas.
day.
Yeah. We'll call
gonna be
each
the
other.
best.
and be
There we
like, okay, so how many tickets were sold last year? Do we know?
So we think we had about 1,000 people show up last year. Some of those were pre-sale tickets. A lot of them were just the day of, and then that includes the first
Most
responders.
were just the day of.
Right. But this year, I mean, we've sold over 600, maybe closer to 650 tickets just
Yeah.
pre-sale right now. And that doesn't
And that
include,
does not
the
include
first responders and their
that-
families.
that have signed up.
Right, because they're
already.
free. Medina County first responders. We've gotten a lot of people that are from other counties, and we absolutely want them to come. But you do need to buy a ticket. We're just
Right,
paying for
right.
the first responders of Medina County. You don't, even if you live in Medina County, but let's say you work in another county, that's cool too. Just show your ID, and we're good with giving you a free ticket.
Yeah, you have to draw
Cool.
the line somewhere, I guess, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Sadly. I mean,
Yeah.
we'd all love to eat some. And how many meat people are there? I don't know exactly.
15.
15
Oh,
teams.
Cool. cool.
Yeah.
Evidently, people keep saying that they want to, like, every time we have a meeting, I was like, well, somebody else wanted to come, so I had to make some space. Or,
Yeah, so
you
we're
know.
saying 15, but we don't know. There could be 20.
It'll be what it'll be when you
I
get
promise you won't go home hungry.
Right.
I can guarantee that.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And $25 is a great price.
For all you can eat meat.
And
I
these
mean,
people that are coming, they're not only, you know, international barbecue people. It's not like they're in their backyard. They're influencers that each have
Right.
1 million followers. Like they're actual famous barbecue people.
Right.
Right, yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Like
Bring your autograph notebook.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's very
it is really cool, and I do feel like we just kind of snowballed into this thing.
Yeah.
'Cause
It
we
sounds like
just
it
went,
very organically just
For
kind of
sure.
happened.
Yeah.
Can we throw an event? And then all of a sudden we're like, oh wow, this is a really,
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
So is there money raised for an organization or anything like that?
So obviously we wanted to do something really fun and neat and special for the first responders. Just kind of gather people and just make them feel appreciated and important, because they are, and valued in our community. So they'll be wearing special VIP wristbands, and our hope is that people would stop them and be like, thank you so much for your service, and just wanted to provide a fun day for them and their families to come, not have to pay anything, and just kind of have a fun day that just honors them.
Right.
So we
I love that.
got sponsors for all of that. Any money that was made last year just went into
This
year that we added. We added Rick Trevino. You know, we
nice
added
addition.
more meat teams.
Right.
You know, different things like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. I
So
just
so
didn't know
far
if there
it's
was, like, a
just paying
fundraiser on
for
the side.
itself.
Right.
Perfect.
Yes.
And then if in the future, if it ends up starting to make more money, then we'll have to see what that.
Right. To
that
do
looks
with
like.
that
And you'll
extra
have to be a whole
funds.
501c3.
Yeah. Because until like literally today, we were like, how are we going to pay for this?
And then we're like, oh, look at the ticket sales. Thank you,
we're
Jackie,
like, we
for
didn't
letting
get
us
enough
know.
sponsors to
Yeah.
pay for all of this
Yeah.
meat.
Yeah.
But
That sounds like how I do things at home. We're going to do this and that, and then the day of, how are we going to pay for that?
yeah.
I guess we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Or Doug.
But we figured it out.
Yeah.
And people bought tickets.
Yeah.
So
I love it, and I
awesome.
really love that it started like with just Keith and just that very small conversation, right? As a way of saying, how can we give back? How can we show these people who give selflessly all year long? How can we show them some appreciation?
Yeah.
And what a fun way to do it.
Absolutely.
So
And
much fun.
we have such a fun planning committee. You know, Kelly Muhan is the person that, you know, coordinates all the vendor blender. Blair Terrell does all of our graphics for social media and everything. She does videos. She's done a fantastic job on that. Jackie Minnick is doing a great job lining up volunteers for our ticket booths, and
She's kind of in the ticket counter too.
yes,
Yeah.
she is the ticket.
I know
ticket
it
lady.
is fun to see what everybody's strengths are,
Mm-hmm.
and then like go, oh yeah, I'm so glad I don't have the ticket job.
Yeah.
Like I would, or any of those other jobs. Like I'm really good for going. Here's people who can play music. Let's make sure
Look,
we have a
I
PA.
have all these
Yeah.
people in my back pocket.
Yeah.
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 But
Yeah.
like it's this planning committee is really, I guess maybe Keith put it together. He surrounded
Yeah.
himself by women, first of all.
Smart.
Last year we would go to these meetings and go,
there is not,
hold on.
aside from him and Al, there are not,
except for
yeah,
Al,
there
like
aren't
all the
men
people
on
that
our-
Keith was like, here are the locals that can help us make this committee. We were like,
the organizers, yeah.
we
yeah.
are seeing a pattern
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But
Well, I've noticed just this region. It's amazing, kind of what you guys can throw together and really just get together on, and the people that volunteer and just the talent. The events are really special here.
yeah, it's
in comparison
and people
to what
show
I've
up.
seen. Yeah, and people show up. I mean, that's amazing. It's hard to find nowadays. I mean, volunteers just in general have went down, and just overall across the nation. And you know, here, I mean, I was amazed at the first event I went to, and it seems like every weekend there's something going on.
Yeah.
So, it's
Well,
amazing.
here is one thing. I was at Becky's one time getting my hair cut, you know, and
Studio B.
yeah.
Shout
Thanks, Becky. And she was we were talking about how DeHennis used to have Christmas dance and Thanksgiving dance and
Yes.
all this, like, she's like, man, when we were growing up, and talking about all this nostalgic stuff. I married a guy from here, so I'm not from here. So I've kind of, like, just infiltrated, actually, it's the word maybe. But so we're sitting there and she's talking about all these, I wish that they'd bring this back, and I wish that we would do this again. I wish they'd bring this back. And finally I just go, Becky, who's they?
Who's this they that, yeah.
Who's they? Like, we're the grown-ups now. Unfortunately, we're the grown-ups. And whenever we were growing up, it was our parents that were doing all of these cool things. And that generation is not going to throw us a Christmas dance or throw us anything. So, like, if we want our kids to have the
That
cool
same
events
experience.
and the
we
stuff
gotta
that
make it
like
happen.
we grew up doing, and I grew up in a small town too, outside of Houston. So, like, we had the same community events and really cool things that people were putting on so that we could grow up having these great things. And that, I mean, I didn't even realize it until I said it, but I was like, it's us.
And my son's been counting down. Like about a month ago, he's like, okay, how many more days till that thing with all the meat again, Mom?
Yeah.
I'm ready for that.
I'm ready for that thing.
Yeah.
So vote for Jamie for mayor of Dehenna.
Nope. Nope.
She's got lots of great ideas.
I don't have time.
The
I do
Christmas
have
dance
ideas.
is
I'll give
coming
them
back.
all to you and take no credit.
See, that's
I'll
what
just-
you do. You
I'll
just
just-
delegate. That's what John keeps telling me.
just
Just
throw out
delegate.
Yeah.
It's part of leadership. You got it.
Well, okay, so Saturday's the day to be out at
Yes.
the barn at Quail Crossing.
Starts at 10
If you can't find it, just get on Avenue E and go for about
until you see a sign.
Yeah, we'll have signs up.
what is it,
How
like
far
5
is it?
miles?
Maybe.
7 miles out of town? Maybe
No.
not even 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
on the
not as far
right-hand
as you
side.
Yeah.
think.
You're
It's,
good. You'll find it.
Yep.
yeah,
There'll be
it's
a big
great.
sign.
Yeah.
I'd like to put out that Avenue E, we are not responsible for the maintenance of that road.
That's
That
right.
is
That's
TxDOT.
actually FM 462.
Just saying.
It's a TxDOT road.
So if you're not enjoying the commute down that road, it is not John's fault.
It is
right.
not my fault.
We
get
will
so
be
many-
posting his phone number on here for you to
Yeah.
call if you have any complaints.
Right
just
here.
about anything.
You
but
know what? I gotta give kudos to John. He gives everyone his cell number. It's on his business card.
And then he doesn't answer, huh?
Text.
That's the old trick.
the fake.
Or
I know a
text.
lot of people who give out their phone numbers. A lot of
actually
people who
does.
don't answer.
He actually really does answer his phone, and I'm amazed every single time because I'm like, oh, I don't know that I would have just cold called, answered that without being prepped
Yeah.
before that phone call. but-
Screen
Yeah.
some of those.
He does a great job. All right, now for the fun part. So normally at the end of, I know, prepare yourself.
Can't
So
wait.
It's a blast. At the end, we have like speed round answer questions. But this is the very first time that we've had 2 guests. So in my infinite wisdom, I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with 2 guests? So I'm going to ask questions, and you're going to answer about each other. Okay? Are you ready for
Sure.
this?
So like
You're
what I
turning
think
up
her
there?
answer is
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be? Or,
Oh.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We should have pregame this.
I know.
Are you ready? Are you sure? All right.
We'll see.
It's like
Who wants
it's
to
like
go
the
first?
newlywed game, except for
So
we're just on a
you
committee
know, we're on a
together.
committee. We should have hung out a little bit more outside of the committee.
I have no
today.
idea how this is going to go.
Together.
Zero idea. Because I had lunch at 4 o'clock and I thought, oh my goodness, I have 2 guests.
Do I know
How
all
am I
your
gonna
kids'
do
names?
this?
I at least feel like I know at least 3 of them.
Yep.
I
Oh,
don't know
you-
about the 4th, but
All right,
we'll
Jamie's going to
make
go
something
first.
up.
She's
Okay.
going to answer questions about you, and then I'm going to ask you questions about Jamie. Hopefully they won't be the same questions, so you won't have time to think about it.
Okay.
It's a lot of pressure on me right now.
I'm sorry in advance.
I know.
All right, Jamie. Answer. Here's what you think, Stephanie. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Sunset or sunrise?
Sunrise.
Mountains or beach?
Beach.
You can respond.
Oh, okay. I
You
was
can be
like,
I can tell it's killing her.
I'm like,
Can we do it at the same time? What, like a
Oh, like rock, paper,
up,
scissors?
down. Yeah.
Dogs or cats?
dogs? I don't know.
Early bird and night owl?
Early bird.
All right, Stephanie, your turn. You answer.
Wait, was I right?
On everything except the sunrise and the early birdness. Yeah.
Well, I
It has
you're
on
an
that.
idol?
Everything
I had
else
to
was like
commit, because if
spot-
I would have
yeah.
said sunset
right,
and then night
it
owl, I
wouldn't
wouldn't
make any
have.
sense. Yeah, but everything else
Oh,
is dead
God,
on.
you really
50-50.
thought that through.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a couple
You
steps
really
ahead.
Yeah.
thought that through.
I
All
couldn't.
in.
I couldn't, take back.
I
take
feel
it
like
back.
you're going to do better than I'm going to do.
So psychologically, did your brain want to answer how you would answer, and then you had to think, no. Think of what
well, I
Stephanie
said beach because she's wearing that color.
Yeah.
It was not a mountain shirt. I didn't come with like my plaid hiking, my hiking boots.
I mean, you would be surprised at how indifferent I am. I could have said about myself to all of those things. What time is it? What day is it? That's the answer to all of those.
well, then
questions. It
it's
depends.
winning, whatever
Yes.
I say.
So yeah, okay, here we go. You're going
Okay.
to answer for Jamie
Okay.
now. Movies or books?
Man, that's
Come
hard.
on.
Movies,
Summer or winter?
winter,
Coffee or tea?
coffee,
Music or TV?
music.
Okay, I mean, I know you're indifferent, however.
Yeah, all of those are true. I mean, I don't watch very many movies, but that's just because I don't understand how people have time to do that.
But do you read that many books?
I do read books.
Okay.
But I listen to books.
Because you're on the road a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I do have late fees at this library from books that I have checked out
You
myself.
better be careful. They
Yeah, I
may
was
not
about
let
to
you
say,
out the door.
That's what, did y'all hear my
security's waiting
kid?
at the door.
Did y'all hear my kid knocking? That's what he was telling me. We have a balance. That's what he was yelling at me right here.
Balance.
We have a
Just
balance.
throw some money out.
Because he was trying to check a book out. And
I saw that Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah, and he was telling me that we have a balance, so he can't check that book out.
Wow.
So take
I
care of
know.
that.
They're pretty strict here.
Oh, I know.
Elsie
We come
runs
here
a
a
tight
lot.
ship.
Yes, she does. Else you don't play. I love it. Okay, couple more questions, and then we're going to call it
Okay.
a day. Stephanie, what's the most unusual or surprising talent that you have?
That I have.
That is a
Unusual
hard
question.
question.
Or
Unusual.
is it?
Yes.
It is.
What's yours?
Yeah. Ooh, thank you. Let's turn the
Let's hear
tables.
about you, Jamie.
Yeah.
I can take my shoulders out of their sockets. That's a talent.
Is it?
I don't think you're going to be able to beat that.
No.
It's pretty strange. So.
No. I mean, I wouldn't say any of my talents are unusual.
Okay, what's your go-to comfort food?
Chocolate.
What about you, Jamie?
I don't know.
Not ice cream?
I enjoy
Mac and cheese?
I enjoy literally all of it.
I do too.
All food
I
is
do
comfortable.
too,
That is a
man.
good answer. I
Like
agree.
all of
I
it.
concur.
Whatever's easy in the fridge. If I open it up.
Do you ever eat in the fridge?
Yes. I eat in the freezer because I'll
Like if
keep,
I'm trying to
like-
hide it from my children.
Yeah.
You got to eat it real quick.
And also, like, I'll put things in the freezer that I don't want to eat, like, just all the time. But then you find out that they're actually better frozen.
like
And then
chocolate
you're
chips.
screwed, exactly.
Yes. And
Don't
great.
you call that like girl dinner?
Trail
It's
mix.
girl dinner. You
Girl
just
dinner,
open,
yeah.
you eat.
In the
Put
freezer.
trail
Oh,
mix.
trail mix in the
Really?
freezer?
I've not tried that.
That doesn't get, then the
You
nuts
would-
don't get too hard?
You
Never?
would think.
Filipino food is always good the second day. My wife is Filipino.
Yeah.
So adobo 2-3 days later.
Yeah.
It just gets better.
That's kind of like chili.
Yeah.
Ooh, and like
Chili.
spaghetti.
Yeah.
Okay, last question.
Now that we're all hungry.
We're all hungry. Yeah. So.
I just had lunch like at 4:30, so I'm good. Oh, where did it go? No. Oh, what's a book, movie, or TV show that you think everyone should experience at least once?
I've got my answer.
I
Yes,
know
go
you do. It's
first.
probably a book, right? Yeah.
But they made a TV show out of it, and the TV show is not as good. But if you watch the show without having read the book, it is also great.
Oh, okay.
But it's called A Gentleman in Moscow, and it's really good. And they have the book here at your local library because I've seen it.
Shout out to the Hondo
Shameless
Public
shout
Shout
Library.
out to your local library here.
Trying to earn
A
that
Gentleman
fee
in
money.
Moscow.
Really good.
Really?
Like the best book I've read in years. I made everybody I know read it.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to put that on my list.
Yeah.
Then. What about you, sister?
Well, my
Movie?
very fluffy, shallow, like no depth answer would be The
Tombstone.
Notebook. No.
What did you say? Tombstone?
girly. The Notebook. But I have to say, I've been watching The Chosen that they have on, I guess that they've had it on Netflix, they've had it on Prime, and I've been really impressed with how they've depicted the disciples of Jesus and
Yes.
everything. Like that's been
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah, I've watched a few of those. So that same studio, Angel Studios, has a movie coming out called Bonhoeffer, if you knew who Bonhoeffer was during World War II. And I was able to go to a premiere a few weeks ago. Speaking of Becky, she went with me. And it was really great also. So that'll be out at Thanksgiving, I think. So, yeah.
Awesome.
They do
that
all
out.
kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So The Chosen, is that what we're going with?
We're going with The Chosen.
Okay, what about
Yeah.
you, John? Have you answered this question yet?
Right now, I'm on The Old Man.
Oh,
season
okay.
2. It's good.
Awesome.
Yeah. I like the dude. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
I have not
the
seen
dude.
this.
I can throw out a couple books, but they're all fantasy and science fiction, so I'll leave those off.
Shawshank Redemption is probably one of my most favorite
Oh, yeah.
movies,
Okay.
other than my favorite TV show Ted Lasso that we talked about earlier. So, yeah.
Love Ted Lasso.
Y'all got anything else?
I mean, I really wanted Jamie to sing a song.
Come to
but
the barn at the vendor blender.
Come to
They
the.
can hear that at 1 o'clock at the barn at
They
the
can
vendor
hear
blender,
Jamie.
Quail Crossing.
That's right.
At
All right, we'll
McFred
see you
move.
guys Saturday, 10 o'clock. Come shop, eat all the meat you can, listen to Jamie sing, drop your kids off.
It's a win-win.
That's right, and be home in time to put your pajamas on, or go to the Dennis football
or
game.
go to the Dennis.
It's going to be a great Saturday. Thanks so much for hanging out with us this evening. Thank you both for hanging out with me. I really, really appreciate
course.
it.
Thanks
and
for
always
having
thank
us.
you, John, for indulging me and showing up. Appreciate it.
Excellent.
Thanks so much. Have a great night, everybody.